Right. Good afternoon. So, at last we studied about images. Insert an image is very simple, but you must remember the attributes which can be added for IMG tag. But when it comes to inserting the image, it is very simple task: IMG, SRC, and the image name. But there are some other things. I have explained everything in the previous class, right? So let's recall them quickly. Right, look at this. IMG, that is the element. Here SRC is the attribute. So as we discussed earlier, attributes are always optional for the element in most of the time. But here in some instances, attribute is inevitable. It is must. Here, IMG is useless if it doesn't have SRC, right? So SRC is important here. So here, the value for SRC is the path for the image. But since the HTML coding and the image are in the same location or are in the same folder, the image name can only be used. Look at that. In this example, I used only 123.jpg, which means the image name, because this HTML file, look at the name home.html, this HTML file and this image are in the same location. I can show you. Look at that. This is 123.jpg. This is my web page. Both of them are in the same location, right? Both of them are in the same folder, grade 11 English medium 2021. So no path needed. Yes, I have adjusted the width because by default, web page shows the original image, original width and original height. But sometimes we like to reduce the width and height because sometimes original images are very big, right? So you have to reduce the width. So this is how width is reduced. This is the attribute width equal. The width must be written in pixels, 200 pixels. And of course, height also adjustable, right? I also explained about border and ALT, right? Did I explain both of them? Did I explain border, attribute border?
No, sir.
Yes or no?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, right? Okay. To put the border for the image, okay, let's see the output first. Look at the output. Right. Look at this output. This output doesn't look good because, as we discussed earlier, when changing the width and height, we have to keep the ratio of the original image. Ratio between width and height should be kept. Look here. So I have put 200 and 600 as a random number. That's why I got this kind of an image. But look at the original image. This is the original image. If you right click and click the properties, you have the property window for this image. Click on the details. You can see the width and the height, right? Look at that. Width 3200, 207 pixels. Height 696. So it is 3207 is to 1696. So there should be a ratio in between the width and the height. So when reducing the width and height, you have to maintain this ratio. Okay, so I'm not going to calculate that one, right? Because it takes time, but you have to understand. So now what I did was I didn't focus on the ratio. I randomly put these two numbers. That's why the picture is not good. So let me adjust it like this. It may be okay, but still the ratio is not kept, but maybe the image looks okay, right? So now image is there, but again, the ratio is important, right? Width and height. Did I explain about, checking the ratio and keeping the ratio? I explained, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, I explained. So if it is an image with, say, 1000 pixels, 500 pixels. So this is the original image. Assume this is the original image, 1000 pixels width and 500 pixels height. So here the ratio between the width and height is 1000 is to 500, which means 2 is to 1. So when changing the width and height, you have to keep this ratio, right? 2 is to 1. Let's say 500. This is one possible combination, right? 500 is to 250. 500 pixels with 250 pixels height. This looks like this. This is 500. This is 250. Okay. Even I can have 600, 300. Okay. 600 pixels width and 300 pixels height. So there are different combinations possible. Okay. Right. I explained. So now, it is possible to add the border for the image, right? So we have already set the border for the table. So here also setting the border is almost similar to the table border. So we have already added 3 attributes for IMG, 300, right? 3 SRC width, height. So let me add another one. So leave a space here. This is border. Okay, border equal, give the border size in pixels. Let's say 4 pixels. Okay, border size 4 pixels. Save your file and see the output. And now you can see the border, right? A black color border is there. The thickness of the border is 4 pixels. If you want to have a little bit big border, you can adjust the number, right? Maybe you can put 7 or 5 or something. Okay, this is border. What about alternate? Did I explain alternate?
No, sir.
No, right? Okay. Look at this one, right? Assume this web page, this particular web page has been uploaded to a server, web server. This home.html is uploaded to a web server. So since it is uploaded to the web server, anybody can view that, right? Anybody can access, because web server is the place where anyone has the access. We already discussed in unit number 3. So now I have uploaded to a web server. So now this is accessible. Look, now assume one of you are accessing this web page. One of you are accessing this web page. But due to the slowness of your internet, you are unable to see the picture. Yes, you got this web page. This web page may have some other contents like some paragraph, maybe list, maybe this same web page may have some other contents. So you open this web page, yes, you can see the paragraph, you can read the table, whatever. But because of the internet, you are unable to see the image, because image has internet speed, right? Because internet images are always little larger in terms of size. So sometimes you need a high-speed internet. Maybe because of the internet, you are unable to view the image. Clear? But the rest of the contents are viewable, right? But you are unable to view the image. So now you decide that you want to view the image again, because maybe that particular space is empty, right? So, okay, let's say if the image is not displayed, wait 1 second, right? If the image is not displayed, there may be a symptom. Look at that. the border is still there, and you can see a small icon on the top left corner, right? So that may be an indication for an image. So you can see a small mark there, right? So it shows that image is there, but not displayed. So as a user, you realize that there should be an image, but not displayed. So as a human being, what you will do is refresh the page. Definitely you will refresh. So assume that you refresh the page, but still the image is not loaded because still your internet is slow. Maybe some other reasons there, but I'm taking this example, right? Still your internet is slow, but you are unable to see that. Again, image is not found, but the rest of the contents are displayed. So again, you're disappointed, and again, you try to refresh that one, right? Maybe in the third time also, image is not loaded. So now you have no idea about the image, right? You know there is an image, but you don't know what it is. So what will you do? You have to refresh again because you may have some interest on it, right? So because of the curiosity, you just want to refresh it again. Maybe for the fourth time, image may be displayed. Okay, you tried 3 times, but not loaded. Maybe the fourth time, image is there. But even though the image is displayed there, you find that it, so you may think that it is not important for you because you expected a different image, but you have got an image which is not needed for you now. This can happen, right? So now you realize that, trying 3 times earlier was useless, right? You tried 3 times, you spend your time, but that is useless because that image is no longer needed. So this is not good because look at that, you are a user. You are disappointed because of this problem, right? Have you understood? So as a developer, we should know this fact. We should understand this fact. Not only for you, right? This can be, or this can happen for any user. Maybe after some time, this can happen for the other person. He or she also tries many times. Maybe after trying some time, she or he will get the image. If it is needed, then it's okay, right? Trying 3 times, 4 times is not an issue. But if that image is not important, trying 3 times and wasting the time is useless. So what you have to do is, in case the image is not loaded, it is better to show a text, maybe a phrase there, describing the image. Say here, what is the original image here? See, some birds are, flying, right? Maybe crows or something. So you can easily describe that. If the image is not loaded, you can describe that phrase, right? Picture of birds or picture of crows flying. So such things can be added. So in case a user will not get that image, he or she can see the text. So even though the image is not displayed, that particular user may realize that it is the picture of the crows. If that person has the interest on seeing that, he can or she can refresh again and again and see it. If that person is not interested on it, can leave it quickly, right? That is possible. So that may be the reason why we have often used another attribute called ALT, alternate, right? Let me add this one, ALT, alternate. This is an attribute. So give a space, sorry, type the equal sign, and if the image is not displayed, you have to show a text message, right? So give the text message to be displayed instead of displaying the image. So here I can, since my image is this one, right? This one, I can describe like flying birds or something. Give any meaningful one, right? Flying birds. Or flying crows, right? Anything. Look at that. ALT, alternate. So here, this is a meaningful attribute, right? Alternate. Why? Displaying the image is the expected one. But in case the image is not displayed, you have an alternation. What is the alternation? Displaying this text. But if the image is displayed, this is not displayed, right? Have you understood? If the image is displayed, there is no need to show this word. In case the image is not displayed, this will be on that particular space. Okay, so now have a look at that. Now image will not be displayed because I have made a mistake in the file name. So definitely now the image is not displayed. So now you can see that one, right? See, flying birds. You can see that, symbol for that image too. So as a user, you realize that this space is for a picture of flying birds. If you have interest, refresh again. Maybe once it is refreshed, you may get the picture. But in my case, it is not there because I have made a mistake in the file name, right? So let me type the correct name. I made a mistake in the file name in order to show the output, because if the file name is correct, I cannot write. So that's why. Now see, now picture is displayed. Since the picture is displayed, you cannot see the alternate text because that is for alternative one, right? If the image is not displayed, that will be displayed. That is ALT. Okay, so ALT also very useful for IMG. So for a IMG, we have SRC, width, height, border, ALT. So 5 attributes have been added for IMG. Remember all of them are very meaningful. Width, height is always simple because width, height are in different elements, right? Not only IMG, even that is available in the table. Maybe in later we can study about. Did I explain this one horizontal rule?
No, sir.
No, right. Okay, later we can study about horizontal rule. There also we can have width. So remembering width and height is easy because if it is an image, there should be width, there should be height. So these two are there. A border, of course, important, right? And this is the most important one, ALT, right? Alternate. Here the value would be a phrase, right? Look. So we have 5 attributes for IMG. But have a look at them. I have written SRC as the first attribute, and the other attributes are written, after that. Here I have a question. Look here. So what about the order? Should you write SRC as the first attribute for IMG? Or can you add this SRC somewhere here or anywhere? Maybe let me cut it here and put at last. Is it the correct one? Is it the correct one?
No, sir.
IMG space width 700, height 400, border 4, ALT flying birds. Finally, I have added SRC 123.jpg. Is it the right one? Will it work?
No. No.
Look.
No, sir.
We have already did some other contents, right? So when it comes to table, we have added border, cell spacing, cell padding, width, height. Did we follow any order there? Think about the table. In table, the element is table. We have added multiple attributes, right? Such as border, width, height, cell spacing, cell padding. We have added many. But there, we put the border as the first attribute because, you know, table is always expected with border. That may be the reason why you put the border there. But no one can say that the border is first and the width is second or height is second. There is no order because everything is an attribute, right? How can you say that the border is first and width is second or height is third? Everything has an equal priority. You may think that the table border may be important than the others. No, table also, sorry, border is, sorry, you may think the border is important than width or height. No, border also similar to width and height or cell spacing. Right? So look, these attributes never have any order. So you can put table, space, width, then height, maybe at last you can write the border. Even in this case also, you may have a doubt because, see, when I asked the question, most of you mentioned that it is wrong because you might think that SRC is must. Their border wasn't must, right? Border is optional. Without border, table works. But here, without SRC, IMG doesn't work. So in this sense, you may think that SRC is must and it can be the first attribute. No, even though it is must, you know, attributes never have orders. You cannot prioritize them, right? They have the equal priority. So all you have to do is keep the SRC somewhere, right? That may be okay. But as a developer, we always write IMG SRC because without SRC, IMG is useless, right? But width or height or border or ALT, they are option. Without them also, we can add the image. But SRC is must. That may be the reason why we always use the SRC as the first attribute. But you can write them in any order. See, I have saved that and have a look at the output. See, we got the same output. Okay, there is no changes at all. So remember these things. Sometimes this can be asked in MCQs. They may give 4 answers related to inserting an image and ask you to find the right answer. So sometimes you may think that SRC should come first, and if it is in the maybe in the last or maybe in the middle, you may take that as wrong. No, you have to check the format. You have to check where the bracket is there, IMG is there, space there, and definitely SRC somewhere there. Okay, this is the idea. Right, so these are about images. Any questions, any doubts? No, right? Right, look, so next one. Next one, we can add horizontal rules on web pages, horizontal rules. So as the name implies, it's a rule which is horizontally placed. So we often add the horizontal rule on web pages in order to differentiate the contents. Look, see, sometimes you have a paragraph. You may have a paragraph on a web page, and there may be a table also. You have the paragraph, and below to that you have a table. Sometimes you like to differentiate both of them using a rule. Maybe that is one instance where we use horizontal rule. Even in some instances, say you have a content, and when you put 2 horizontal lines parallelly, you may make your contents as attractive because you have a content on the top, you have a content on the bottom. So when you put 2 horizontal rules in different colors, maybe red or blue, or it looks attractive. So maybe for some reasons, we insert horizontal rules on web pages. Okay, right. So let's see how to create or how to insert rather horizontal rules on web pages. It's very simple. To insert the horizontal rule, let me delete this one. You don't need to have this one. To insert the horizontal rule, this is HR. This is the tag HR, simply horizontal rule. HR, horizontal rule. That's it. It doesn't have any closing tag. It is not a pair. This is a single tag. You know, tags which do not have any closing tags are always called empty tag. So this is an empty tag. So since it's an empty tag, if you want, you can put a slash, / here. Okay. So now if you save your work and open it, you can find that. Now, as you can see, we have a horizontal rule there. Let me zoom in. Now you can see it. You can see that this is a horizontal rule. Very thin, right? Very small, but it takes the full browser width. Look at the width of the horizontal rule. It takes the full width of the browser, but it's very tiny line. Okay, so let me add a content on top of this horizontal rule. So let's say I put a heading or something, right? H1. Our school or something. This is a heading. So maybe here you have a paragraph or something. And there is a paragraph. Something is there. Okay, so on the top you have a heading H1. So here you have a paragraph. In between them, we have the horizontal rule. Have a look at the output now. This looks very big because I have already increased the zoom size. Let me reduce it. This is the default size, 100%. Right? You can clearly see the horizontal rule which separates your heading and the paragraph. I'm not trying to say that the horizontal rule is always headed for separating the heading and the paragraph, right? This is only for an example. This may be used for separating the content, but I'm showing this only for example, right? But look at the width of the horizontal rule. It takes the whole width of the browser. Okay, by default, it takes the whole width. But look at that. This rule, yes, we got the rule, but it is not attractive. It's a very blurred one. Maybe the color is not an attractive color. So sometimes as a user, you don't like it. So if you want to make it as attractive, you can. So when it comes to the word attractive, you can change the color. Yes, of course, you can change the thickness. Because look at the thickness of this rule. This is very small, right? Even in some instances, you like to reduce the width. Here, it takes the entire width of the browser, but sometimes you like to have half of the browser width. So these three things can be changed. What are they? You can change the color of this rule. You can change the thickness of this rule. Even the width of the rule can be adjusted. Have a look at them. So first of all, I will show you how to change the thickness. To change the thickness, we have to use an attribute called size. Don't forget this one. See, if it is the thickness of the rule, it is always related to height. So you may think that it is height because for the table, we use the word height. Even for the image, we use the attribute height. So if you think in this way, you may think that it is height even in horizontal rule. No, because you know, rules are very small, right? So we never have a rule with big sizes. So that may be the reason why it is named as size, not the height. Okay, if it is a table, it can be big, right? If it is a image, it can be big. So there, the word height is appropriate. But here, look at the size, the thickness of that rule. It's very small, right? So that may be the reason why it is called size. Okay, size. Here the size must be in pixels. So size equal, give the size in pixels. Let's say I put 5 in order to differentiate that one, because 5 is a slightly big number, but doesn't matter. 5. Look at that. Now you can see that. But look here, even though I made a change in that number, you are unable to see the differences. See the differences. Actually, the size is increased. But I hope that you are unable to see that, because the rule is in a white color or something. That may be the reason why you are unable to see that. Okay, let me see. Let me change that as a big one, maybe 15 or 20. Okay, 15. So I hope that this will make you to see that. Right now, look at that. Now you can see that from here to here, but it's a white color rule. That may be the reason why it is not clearly visible, but still you can see that. Okay, let me change the zoom. Okay, now you can see that, right? I have increased the zoom, but this is the size of the rule, right? From here to here, this is the size, but it looks big now because the zoom size has been increased. Okay, right. This is how the thickness of the rule is changed using the attribute size, right? Say if you want to change the width of this rule, yes, it is width. Here also the same name, leave a space, width equal. Here also you can have the width in pixels or in percentage. Both are possible. We have used the same idea in table 2. You can use pixels or percentage. So if you are good with pixels, you can. Let me add this as 800 pixels. Width is 800 pixels. Have a look at that. Now see, your rule is from, have a look at the rule. It is from here to here. This is 800. But earlier, when I use HR only, it takes the whole width. Right? It takes the whole width. But now, look at the starting point of the rule. The rule starts here. So now you may wonder why it is not started here, because look at that, this is empty space, right? So don't worry. Here, horizontal rule takes the center alignment by default. But when it is in 100%, because if you don't add the attribute width, right? If you don't add this one, it takes the default width, right? So default width is 100%. So when it is in 100%, you are unable to recognize the alignment. Now, no one can say that it is left alignment or center alignment or right alignment, because the rule is rule takes the browser width, right? Entire browser width. So now you are unable. But when the rule is reduced, when the width of the rule is reduced, definitely it shows the alignment, right? Look at that. Now it is center. So by default, rules are aligned center. Okay, but if you want to display them in the left alignment, that is possible, or right alignment possible. How? Using the attribute align. We already used the attribute align in paragraph. So go inside again, align. Okay, align equal, let's say left. Okay, left. Have a look at this. Now it starts from left side. Okay, it is from here to here, right? From here to here, 700 pixels, right? So if you are good with 800 pixels, if you are good with pixels, you can use, or even percentage possible. Let's say double quote 50%. Okay, width equal 50%. Now it takes the half of the browser width. Have a look at that. It is half, right? you can adjust it. Let's say 75%. Now it is increased. Look at that. It is 75. So we have two different methods for changing the width. The first one is using the pixels as value. The second one using percentage. Both are possible. Right. So size is for changing the thickness. Width is for changing the width of the rule. And when you use width, sometimes you have to use align. Right. Now come to the color of this rule. Look at that. The color is white, almost white. So that may be the reason why it doesn't look sharp, or that doesn't look good. We can change the color of this rule. To change the color of the rule, we need another attribute called color. So leave a space again, COLOR, color. This is US English. So color equal. Give the color name as value. Okay, let me give red. So double quote red. Okay, color equal red. Save it and see the output. Now you can clearly see the thickness of the rule, right? Look at that. Now it is very sharp. Earlier it was white. That may be the reason why that was in sharp. But now the color is very bold. So you can see that. Okay, so this is how the color is changed. So if you want another rule in another size, you can copy this coding and paste. So let's say I want this rule, first rule in 75 and second rule in 60%. I want two rules parallelly. First one 75, second one 60%. Maybe with somewhere 5 or something, right? 5. And this must be blue or something, right? And now look at that. You have two rules, same size, but look at the width. The first one is slightly larger than the second one. So when you use such different color rules, you can make your page as an attractive one, because maybe the real reason is for separating the contents, but at the same time, you can make them attractive. Okay, right. Look at the color again. So here we use the color name as the value for this attribute. But there is another method for representing the colors in HTML, right? You might have not heard, actually we studied, right? We studied in grade 10, but not deeply, because when we studied about hexadecimal in grade 10, we had a small introduction for colors written in HTML. Here also I have to explain about colors which can be written in hexadecimal now, but maybe in the unit number 4 we can study them in little bit depth, right? But this is not the right time to study everything in detail, but at least I just want to explain them little deeper than what we studied in grade 10. Right, look, so colors can be written in hexadecimal. So when the colors are written in hexadecimal, computer understands. Here, browser understands. Look here. So we have 3 primary colors, RGB. Right, we use 3 main colors, primary colors, red, green, blue. So, you know, in hexadecimal, the smallest number is 0. The largest number is F. Everyone remembers, right? In hexadecimal, the smallest one is 0. The largest one is 15, but 15 is represented by F. So I can simply say in hexadecimal, 0 to F digits are used, right? Look, when writing the colors in hexadecimal, you have to give these hexadecimal values for each and every color, RGB. But make sure every color takes 2 digits. For an example, have a look at that. Now I just want to put 2F for red, FF, 2 zeros for green, RGB order, right? RGB is the order, 2 zeros for green. Again, 2 zeros for blue. Look here, F is the largest number in hexadecimal, 0 is the lowest one, right? Smallest one. But here for red, I have given FF, which means red takes the highest number, right? Red takes the highest number. So since red takes the maximum number, that can be taken as red, right? Because red takes the top number, so that is red. For if I mention in spoken, I can say that pure red, because there are different varieties of red, right? You can call them dark red or light red, this red, that red, there may be reds. This is the red, right? Red, pure red. So FF, because I have given the largest number. But what happens to green? Green doesn't have any number because it takes the lowest number, which means no green at all, right? No green at all. Blue also takes 0, so no blue. So now what is the color? Only red takes the number. So this is red. So giving the value as RED in words and FF0000 are same. You may give anything, both are possible. So let me try that one here first. So for the first one, I use, look here, FF. So first two belong to red, 0000. There should be 6 digits, huh? 2 for everyone. So now save your work and see that there is no differences at all. Look at that. Still it is in red. But earlier I used word, right? RED, but now it is written in hexadecimal. But when colors are written in hexadecimal, we always put the hash sign, hash symbol in front of the color. Even without hash also your browser understands, but we often put a hash in front of the color name. Right, look at that. Now also you will get the same output. There is no changes. Look, now I just want to put, okay, let's come here. So now I just want to put 2 zeros for red, right? And 2 zeros for green and 2F for blue. Now what's the meaning? No red, no green, but blue takes the maximum number. That means pure blue, right? That must be the pure blue. Look at that. Zero, zero, FF. See, you have two rules in blue color, but the first one is there because of hexadecimal color. The second one used word, right? Both represent the same color, right? But look, so when you have, say, if it is FF, it's blue, right? But sometimes if you have a small number there, right? Look here, 9, 5 or something. So, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to F, right? This is the range of hexadecimal digits. So now look here, this is 9, 5. So 9 is somewhere in the middle, right? So now what is the idea? You can have digits for blue color from 0 to F. But now I have given 9, 5. So actually this is blue, right? This is blue, not the pure blue. There may be so many blues, right? So this may be, right, something like dark, maybe dark or light. You are unable to recognize now. See, it looks like a slightly dark blue, right? If I increase the zoom, you can see that. Slightly dark blue, but still it's blue. Okay, so let's reduce the number like 3, 4. This is also blue. Will it be dark blue or light blue? Now also you will get the blue color. Tell me, is it a dark one or light one?
Light
one.
Right, look, I will explain. Right, look here. Look, so now I put zeros for all these three colors. Red 0, green 0, blue 0. What is the color? What color is this? Anybody?
White.
This
White.
is this is black, right? This is black. Look at that. This is black color. So here, what's the meaning? No red, right? No green, no blue. Because they take the lowest number. So you cannot say that the green or blue or red exists. No color exists because they take the lowest number. Okay. Now there is no color. It is black. So now what happens? I give a small number like 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's say 2, 3, 4 red. Red takes 2, 3. The other two colors take the 0. Okay, what's the expected color now?
Dark red. Dark red.
Right, look here, definitely it is red, right? It is red. So you should know whether it is a dark red or light red. So when it is 0, right? When we put 0, everything was black. So now I just put 2, 3. 2, 3 means it's a very small number, right? We have given 2, 3 for red. 2, 3 is small because it can be up to F, right? So now it is red, but it is almost black. Look at that. You are unable to recognize the red, but you can't say that it is black. Actually, not black. It is red, but very dark red. Because what is happening is the red is about to bloom, right? So now black, earlier black, but now red was there, but in a very little amount. That's why it is not displayed clearly. Have you understood? But when the number is increased, for example, let's say I put 5, 8 or something. Now 5 may be in the middle, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe in the middle. So now you can see some reddish things. You can see that, right? So now red starts blooming. You can see some reddish shape there. So even if you increase the number like, let's say 9 or something, 9, 8. So it is more red now. Look at that. So if you put this as B8, B means 11, right? 11. So we are closer to 15. So it is more red now. Similarly, if it is FF, that may be the pure red. Okay, this is the red. So don't think that the small number is the light color, small number is the dark color. The reason is that is coming from black, right? That came from black. That's the reason why it is dark. But when it approaches the 15, definitely it becomes the normal color. Okay. Look once again. Here I put 3, 4 and B8. Okay, 3, 4, B8. Any guesses? What color is this?
Bluish red.
Yes, blue, red there. Okay, these two belong to red. These two belong to blue. So we don't know actually what color is this, right? We cannot exactly say, but we can easily predict the color. So tell me which color will be dominated in the output?
Blue.
It must be blue. Definitely red also mixed, right? Red also mixed, but look at the amount of red, it's 3, 4. So definitely you can see a rule with almost blue. Still red is there, but the amount is low. Since the amount of red is low, blue dominates. Look at the output. At least you must have this ability to find the color. Look at that. You are unable to see the red. So since you are unable to see the red, you can't say that the red is not found. Red is there, but it is not dominated because blue takes the big number. Clear? So that is how colors are written. Let's say I put C4 5 6 or something. Now green dominates. Look at the amount for the blue, it's 5 6, slightly low number, right? So now you can have green one. Look at that, green now. So this is how hexadecimal colors can be handled. Try to remember something, but later in unit number 4 I will explain some other things. But this is more than enough, right? These are nothing. All you have to do is, all you have to remember is RGB is the format. Hexadecimal numbers can be digit from 0 to 15. Every color is represented by 2 hexadecimal digits, right? So if it is 0, no color. If it is 15, which means FF, they take the original color. You can change the digit from 0 to 15, right? Always keep the hash sign in front of the color, okay? Right, so this is how the horizontal rule color is changed, right? So for horizontal rule, we have added 3 attributes. First one is size for changing the thickness, width for changing the width. Yes, of course, align. Actually, align is not a special one for HR. That may be applied for many instances. But here, you can have align too. At the same time, color also used. Okay, right. But this is one of the empty tag. It doesn't need any closing tag, because if it is HR, it takes the whole width of the browser. If you put HR alone, it takes the whole width. So there is no need for closing the HR. Okay, right. Right. The next one would be, I like to start that today, but we couldn't finish that, or we can't finish it because it's slightly big. Just want to give an introduction. This is hyperlink. Hyperlink. So I hope the term hyperlink is very familiar to almost all the students. It is because we studied in grade 10 word processing in some other application software, and also hyperlinks are always found in web pages. So since you all have the experiences in accessing web pages, definitely you come across these things, right? At least at 1 or 2 instances, you used hyperlinks in web pages. So you have some first-hand experiences, right? So, you know, hyperlink can be defined in different ways, right? So say, if it is web page, a hyperlink can take a user from one web page to another. Say you visited your school website where hundreds of web pages found. So you click on one link, maybe there is a word which has the link, you click on it and you will be taken to another web page in the same website, right? You are still in your school website, but you have come from one web page to another. There hyperlink was used. But in some instances, hyperlink takes us from one website to another. You are in a school website, maybe there is a link given leading to examination department website. So you click on it, now you will be taken to another website. That is possible. Even take some application software like Word or PowerPoint. There also you can put the hyperlink. When the link is clicked, it opens another file in the computer. We can link a file with the Word. So when the link is clicked, the file which is in the same computer opens. So you know, hyperlink is something which can be explained in different ways, but at least remember hyperlink is a technique or is a feature which can link two things together, maybe a word and a web page. Not only word, even for some images, we can set the hyperlink. You can find some images which can be clickable. So when you click on the image, we will be taken to some other web pages. That is hyperlink. So now we have to create a hyperlink first. Okay, let me create a hyperlink first, but even in hyperlink also we can add some attributes like images, but I just want to create a simple hyperlink first, but maybe the remaining attributes will be explained later. So let's quickly create a hyperlink. Okay, 1 second. So here I want let's say I want a word there like click here. Click here. So this is on the body of the web page. This is not just a word. This must be a clickable word, which means on this word, I have to set a link. So if I save and open, you know, this is just a word. You can see that, right? Just a word, it cannot be clicked, right? Because it is just a word given in body. But I want to make it as a hyperlink. So first delete this. To create a hyperlink, you have to use an attribute called A. So you have to use the tag called A. A for anchor, right? A for anchor. Anchor. You know, anchor is something which stands the ship, right? So it is connected with a chain. Ship and the anchor is connected with the chain. So that may be the idea behind this name. Here also a word and the page is linked by a chain or something. Have you understood? A big ship is linked with an anchor using a chain. Here a web page and a word is linked by a chain or something. That's the reason why it is given as A, anchor. A. Look, here also this element needs an attribute like IMG. See, IMG needs SRC. SRC is must. Here also A needs href, hypertext reference. So without hypertext reference, A is useless. Okay, that is hypertext reference. href, hypertext reference. So A space href equal, here the value would be the path of the web page name, right? Path of the web page name. Say, I just want to link a web page in my local disk E. So I have a web page here, index.html, that is in local disk C. Okay, just want to link this file. So you know how to write the path, right? Double quote E colon / index.html. That is the extension there. Double quote, close the word. Okay, have a look at that again. href. Here the path must be given. Suppose if the HTML file is in the same folder, this path is not important. The whole path is not important. You can give only the web page name. But here my web page home.html is another location. Web page is in another location. So I needed a path, right? Then you can close the anchor tag. Anchor tag must be closed. IMG is empty, but this is a pair, right? You need to close it. Let's save our work and see the output. And now see, you're unable to see anything, but the hyperlink has been set, right? Hyperlink has been set, but we are unable to see that because there should be a word on the web page to have the link. Do you agree, right? There should be a word displayed. Then only you can set the hyperlink, right? So how to do that? in between the first starting A tag and closing A tag, give the word. So whatever is given in between the starting A and closing A will have the hyperlink. So now put the word, click here. So this is the starting anchor tag. This is the closing one. In between them, you have click here. This will get the link. Save and see the output. Now see, click here. This is a clickable one. This is a link. See, if you take the mouse pointer there, it takes the hand shape. So whenever the mouse pointer takes the hand shape, it means there's a hyperlink. And also for hyperlink, underline is always there. So if you click, the linked page opens. Look at that. I click on it. Now this is the page which I have linked, right? That page open. If you want to go, if you want to go back to your previous page, use this back button, right? Click the back button and see it. Okay, see it again quickly. href, then the path for your web page, and then the word on which the link is set, and finally closing tag. But hyperlink is a very big area. I have to, not very big, but still we need to discuss some other things. I have to continue from this point, not today, maybe in the next class. So go through these things and understand. I can explain the remaining things later. All right, so that's it for today. See you next time with the remaining attributes of anchor tag, right?